it's crazy how these volume shooters are now kind of being devalued. The Bradley Beals, the Brandon Ingram, even the guy in Utah, what's his name? Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah. Well, we talked Brandon Ingram too, because I was also willing to add Ingram, and I think you put Clarkson also on that list. Like David Griffin did try to find like a deal to get him off of the books. Where now David Griffin has to make Zion Williamson, um, DeJounte Murray, and Brandon work. So it's that those contracts are now biting these owners in the ass, or these franchises in the ass.
Yo, that's a crazy ass problem to have. I feel like
It's an awful problem to have.
they're about to be in like games that are like 128 to 148 every night.
Yeah, they're gonna a neck and neck game. Like the Pelicans might be a playoff playing team, but dude, every win is gonna have to be like every win has to like catch your breath if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a good thing.
Yeah, it's not. It's this is interesting because these type of players, teams once kind of held them to a certain regard. The guys who could average like 20 points or 25 points a
Yeah.
game, but they were volume shooters. But now it seems like once their efficiency starts going down, or maybe they get injured, teams start kind of having second guesses on these guys. Again,
Well,
Zach
dude,
Lavine
that's
and
good.
Jordan Clarkson. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean Jordan Clarkson at this point, like six men, right? What kind of six men has just like want like man? I've thought about this so many times. Like I view Jordan Clarkson as like a Jordan Crawford, Jamal Crawford kind of player, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember any good Jamal Crawford playoff moments in my life.
Yeah, me neither. But Jordan Clarkson is under a good contract though.
He's under a good contract, yeah, but like, you
14
know what
mil
I mean?
per
Like,
year,
yeah, that is a good contract,
and
but you know what
nobody's
I mean, right?
biting.
Like, I feel like teams are willing to take in the less scoring, the 3 and D off the bench, 10 points per game guy, rather than like a Jordan Clarkson who could get you like a 15 points per game.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like a Spain Pritchard and those kind of guys, they're not getting you 15, like 17, 18 points per game. They're getting you cool like 12, 13 points per game, but they're giving you defense.
Correct. I feel like as the league kind of gets more talented guys that are kind of more two-way, do you think that those guys are slowly phasing out the volume 20 points per game shooter? That's what's
One hundred
happening?
percent, 100%, and it was bound to happen because, like, dude, like I said, I cannot name a six man who has won just by being like an offensive scorer in recent memory. There was a lot that were fun to watch, like Lou Williams. I don't remember any like Lou Williams game in the playoffs, like deep in the playoffs, where I'm like, oh, dude, yeah, Lou Williams was able to step it up. Like these guys
That's
just do their
crazy. That
magic in
sounds
the regular
crazy.
season.
That sounds like a sweep.
Yeah, it sounds like a sweep, but it never happened, right? Like 2020 Clippers, it never happened.
Nope.
No, it's just hard. And Lou Williams was like in the regular season, Lou Williams was a guy who was like, okay, our role players have like sorenesses. We kind of need a rest. We bring in Lou Williams, and he'll look like the star of that night. In the playoffs, is a whole different ballgame. The game is slower. The defense, the whistle isn't always
Mm-hmm.
on your side.
The
It's a whole different
possessions you
game.
have to value more.
Yeah, and that's what it is, dude. I think like the whole era of like the six man is kind of his own franchise player off the bench is kind of changing now. They're kind of bringing in guys who you can insert any which way.
Yeah, defend multiple positions. Maybe
Yeah.
average like 6 points less per game, but your efficiency is up and your defense is up. Man, that's tough. That's tough. Like sort of like the Mikal Bridges archetype. Like
Yeah, one
when
hundred
I'm
percent,
talking
dude.
about when he was in Phoenix though.
Yeah,
Yeah, when he was in Phoenix, not the Brooklyn Mikal Bridges, not the 20 points per game. Sort of like the
yeah.
17 to like 14 points per game.
A guy who came off the bench and like hustled, really, like
Yeah, defend
yeah.
multiple
But
positions. Yeah, the league, like I said, they're getting a lot of guys like that. A lot of guys are coming in
I
like
think
that.
now teams are looking at who can fill in these holes rather than like can he be a big like can he produce on a small box? I don't know if that made proper sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like have him defend. I don't need him. I don't need the ball in his hand 24/7. Like He should be fine with not having to score all the time. That kind of that kind of ordeal. Like, I think that's what the league is looking for.
Yeah, because it's only so many players that can do that.
Yeah, exactly. So many, but so many guys can do that. But it's like, I think that's why you talked about it earlier. That's why like second round picks are being so valued.
Yeah, they're valuable because teams are spending too much on the top players.
Yeah,
They're not necessarily spending too much. It's just eating up so much of the cap space. Everyone is trying to avoid that second apron.
yeah.
So
But
the
like that's what
second
I'm saying.
round
Like
draft picks helps you with that.
if you can get a 3-and-D player who can fill in a void, right? Why do you need like a Jordan Clarkson? Like realistically, what team does Jordan Clarkson make sense for?
That's like saying same thing for Zach Lavine and Brandon Ingram.
Yeah,
It's
because
like solving the same puzzle.
Brandon Ingram for me, I thought Sacramento would make the deal, but Sacramento they got lucked in on
DeRozan.
frustrated DeMar DeRozan, who's way better. DeMar
Yeah,
DeRozan,
yeah,
the Chicago one was
he's
great.
better. He's much better from the field, from the mid range.
Yeah, dude, the Chicago one was good. Like I got to give DeMar its credit. The Chicago Bulls should have never been a playing team, and he was able to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So they improved a lot. We could talk about that later, but like I think now what teams are looking at, bro, it's way different. I think the landscape of basketball has changed, bro.
Yeah, it has.
Nowadays. Yeah,
It has, and a few guys are caught in the middle. I think a
yeah,
few players are getting caught in the middle of it. Because I think Brandon Ingram, the way he played, what made him the number 2 overall pick, is not what's keeping him in the league nowadays. Or it can't get him paid. It can't get him any more paid going forward. Like the way he wants to get paid. The
no,
36 mil per year, he can't earn it like that no more. It's like they
he's not
closed
a
the
good.
window on him.
He's a he's not a very good scorer. Like he can score, but he's not very good at it. And his playmaking is average at best, like okay to average.
Mm-hmm.
And his defense is not really good. Like he's not a very noticeable defender. So it's like it gets hard for that. It gets hard to justify paying someone like that money.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
talked about it, Zion is a once in a generational star when healthy, right? But like he can do things that Brandon Ingram way better than Brandon Ingram can. Zion Williamson, when he's in the rim or at the rim, he's killing it. Zion Williamson can make those passes. It just makes more sense why you'd rather have that than like Brandon Ingram, who can do it on a lesser level. And at times, even when he does it, when he's like the focal point of an offense, like he gets swept. Like I'll even say this: Jonas Valanciunas was more valuable against Oklahoma City Thunder than Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, it just seems like guys from when they came in the league as a rookie, oh man, middle of their career, they got to make a transition to keep getting paid the way they think they should get paid, especially for a second overall pick like Ingram. That shit must be a
It's a
shocker.
bad look. It's a bad look, bro. The league, bro. Basketball's always evolving, and I think a lot of these guys, that are coming in to like fill in roles, like Payne Pritchard has no ego.
Mm-hmm.
That guy just wants to play basketball. Deuce McBride. Um, these guys don't have egos, but they want to. Sam Merle. These guys know their roles. These guys know how do I get paid? How do I be in the NBA? Like I know I'll be in multiple teams, but how do I ensure that I'll always get a contract waiting for me?
It's not even a contract. It's like the contract that they want. It's like Ingram
Yeah.
has to get rid of the identity of being that 20 points per game player on like 40% shooting.
Okay, but can he fit in a box? Like, what box could Brandon Ingram fit?
He's in between all the boxes. He's a small forward, kind of power forward, but can't rebound, but can't shoot like a small forward 3-and-D. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Can't make his 3-pointers like that. He's
Not a
not
very
really
good
catch and shoot guy. He's in between all these boxes.
Yeah, not a bad defender, but not a great one. He's just stuck.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation. And he's a player that's entering probably year 6 or 7.
Nah, I gotta be year 8. I remember he was drafted 2017.
Yeah, so like he's almost a tier below like the incoming classes who just got their first rookie extensions, like the Cade Cunningham, the Luka Doncic, the Darius Garland potentially. So I want to talk about this class because this class is sort of in that same, they're caught in that same transition because I'm seeing
Yeah.
Darius Garland, Şengün, Jalen Green, Kuminga, these guys did not get their rookie extensions. We see Franz Wagner, that he got his extension,
He
Cade
got it.
Cunningham, Evan Mobley. I'm wondering how the Cavs explain to Darius Garland that they give Evan Mobley the money, but not him. Like, that shit is crazy.
That shit is crazy. But I also think they're not confident in his fitting with Donovan Mitchell. They're not confident in Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland together. Let me rephrase that. I think when Evan Mobley, they see defensive strides. They just are kind of hoping he picks it up offensively.
He's not. He's almost a combo guard.
Yeah.
He's almost a
Dude,
combo
he's a guy.
guard.
He's peaked 2021, 2022 when he made the All-Star team. Since then, he hasn't been healthy. He hasn't really fit that well. His playmaking hasn't really improved. It's a very much of a question mark with him, bro.
Yeah, and I know he's looking at that Evan Mobley contract, and he is sick. I mean, even Michael, he's actually done more than Michael Porter Jr. And Michael Porter Jr. got that extension that he wanted back in 2018. Yeah. So this is tricky. This is tricky to see Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham, Franz Wagner all get it. But
Scotty was bound to get it.
Yeah, Scotty was gonna get it. Those guys deserve it, but not. I'm questioning Evan Mobley and Michael Porter Jr. when they got it. I'm like, I don't know. And then the guys that are pending, this is real interesting, man. You got Jonathan Kuminga, Jalen Green, Şengün, Cam
Houston,
Thomas, Jalen Suggs. These guys are looking for their extensions.
Houston cancels each other's out.
What do you mean?
One of these guys are getting it, one of these guys are on their way out.
Damn. I would say Jalen Green.
Probably. I think Reed Shepherd, if he has a good rookie year, who knows? He might be like Houston's guy. Because I think Houston at the end wants a superstar. I don't think they expect any to draft a superstar. I think what they want to do is get a Devin Booker along with young guys.
Yeah, I'm looking at... Well, what do you think about Kuminga? What do you think Golden State's going to do?
Bro, I think, they have to extend him. I can't lie. Or they have to trade him for a star. I think, a conversation has been Lauri Markkanen. A team like the Utah Jazz will extend Kuminga to a good deal. Probably not to a max, but at least a solid deal. But the Golden State Warriors, if they're keeping him, they have to extend him.
I mean, they kind of already fucked up on letting Clay go, not really selling on Kuminga early to get something around Steph. Yeah, you're right. They're going to have to extend him.
Have you not seen the talks that's been going around that Warriors do not want to put Kuminga in that conversation with Lauri Markkanen?
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and Lauri Markkanen is he should have been an all-star last year, but he's the guy that's a solidified all-star player.
I wonder if the Warriors ever consider that Kuminga is good, but he just doesn't fit into what they want him to do.
Well, I don't know if they consider that he might not be a superstar. I think we know what superstars are come year 2 or 3.
Yeah, what Kuminga, this would be... Yeah, he's looking to extend his 5th year.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. For me, it's year 5 and 6 is very hard for me to be that's the guy that is a superstar destined player.
Yeah, it's that they sacrificed so much already. They let too much time go by. They should have traded that pick. They should have never kept that pick.
Dude, I feel for them, for the Warriors, it was much more of Kuminga will be ready once I feel with the Warriors, right, the house fell, if that makes sense. I don't think they expected Andrew Wiggins to regress as much as he did.
Oh yeah, that was a blow.
Yeah, I think they were already prepared for a post-Klay Thompson world, but they were hoping Jordan Poole will be continuing to be the Warriors kind of second-hand man, maybe filling that Klay Thompson role of scoring.
But they got Podziemski. Podziemski is filling that.
Pods fits. But is Pods I don't know. Can you imagine a Pods and Steph Curry duo winning a championship?
No, he's years away from that. The timelines are off. That's what I'm saying. The Warriors are too invested in 2 different timelines.
But is Pods someone that I don't know, dude. For me, it's like if a young player is gonna replace like be kind of like the realm of your future, right? I need like a Tyrese Halliburton. I need Anthony Edwards, where I'm like confident, like yo, this guy is a future star. Like San Antonio Kawhi Leonard. We can pivot off the Tim Duncan era because we know this guy can be something. I don't see it with Jonathan Kuminga. That's what I think. That's what they were trying to go for. Is like pivot off of Timmy D and Tony Parker. You get Kawhi, usher in the Kawhi Leonard. I don't see that
Kaminga.
with Kuminga. No, because that's how I view it. I think the closest example I can bring up is San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, and it's like it's almost. I'm surprised the Warriors stuck with him for so long because Kaminga came off of the G League Ignite tree, the same tree as
Yeah,
Jalen Green, and so many other players that didn't really or just took a lot of
and
time to
out.
translate into the
Yeah,
NBA. What's that guy? The guy Derrick Jones Jr. that was in Dallas. He was out of that
it
same
took him a
program
long time,
too.
and he's 29 now, getting a big NBA contract. Like DJJ isn't young.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys like coming out of they all skip college to do like
Yeah,
a program and then come into the league. And damn man, none of these guys really translate right away.
no, it takes time, bro. But like that's the thing I'm saying is like Kuminga, bro, is like there's nothing hot about him, in my opinion. There's nothing that makes me be like, yo, this guy, this guy is our guy. Nothing.
Yeah,
I
it
think
just
he's cool.
the highlights look nice though. I'm not gonna lie, but it just
Yeah.
doesn't translate to a team concept.
No, it doesn't, bro. And I think like having him surrounded with Draymond and those kind of guys is a cool attempt. But dude, it seems like it seems like they compromised on their present in order to think about the future. Which I don't know. It doesn't seem hot because you trade away Wiseman, you trade away, you kept Moses Moody, who seems like a cool role player. But I don't even know if they'll keep him long term. Pod seemed like a solid role player too. But it's like, what else after that?
Yeah, it's just again two different timelines. I think that stadium has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Because you have to sell out seats, and who's the biggest seat seller than like Steph Curry?
Yeah, or just that stadium overall. You heard how much money that shit's making?
No, 100. It's like the highest selling, like highest grossing NBA stadium, I believe.
Yeah, they make like almost I think $600 to $500 million more than the Lakers and Knicks.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's a tourist destination, bro. Like the tickets are expensive.
No, I didn't even think it's that. What I think it is that they've utilized like I think data and also like the spacing of the stadium to like not have people wait in line as long for like hot dogs or just souvenirs. They sort of found a way to utilize the fan experience. Like you go to your seat, maybe you want to grab something and you quickly grab it and you come back. Like I think
Yeah,
they perfected that because me even going to NBA games, especially in New York City, like Madison Square Garden is old. The Barclays Center where they built it, the space is kind of tight. And I find myself if I leave, I would have to leave a little bit, what, like 3 minutes into the second quarter before it ends.
yeah,
I would leave,
yeah,
get my food, and by the time I come back, 10 minutes left in the third quarter. That's how
yeah,
long it takes to get like food, use the restroom. Like it just takes too long.
yeah,
And imagine like if I want to buy something twice, maybe I want to get a second beer, it takes too long. Like I might as well just watch the whole game and then leave. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, but I feel like the Warriors, their stadium, they found a way to like. I think Steve Ballmer too. These new stadiums that are getting built, they're finding better ways of making sure that the consumer could leave their seat, grab something, and come back.
yeah. It's like they want to make it like a house feeling, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but no, but they want you to spend that way. You spend more money that way too, because you're going
yeah,
to the
one hundred
concession
percent.
stands multiple times.
I mean, dude, when you eat the most, like most snacks, you eat the most snacks when you're watching a game or a TV, right? Because it's this close to you when you're like interested in what you're watching. It's
Hmm.
gonna be like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that, but I'm pretty sure that they're using tech to like they have people maybe order off their phone, and then
Yeah,
or it'll be in a locker. Like there's so many better ways to utilize technology. It's in Silicon Valley. They've like
yeah,
I've read up on a few things about how the Golden State Warriors are generating all this money. They're definitely using tech in their stadium for sure.
Yeah, and obviously Balmer, we already know his history in tech. So these guys think far beyond of like these guys think far beyond of what we could imagine. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, they're changing the fan experience in these stadiums because I'm like out here in Texas, I don't really see too many old stadiums. You guys
No,
don't
Evan
really have,
Toyota Center is not that old.
yeah, you guys don't have any old stadiums, but in New York we got old stadiums. Like
Yeah.
they redid the Yankee one and the Mets one, but the Knicks
Yeah.
one is still old. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro, it's you can see. I'm like, man, like I'm wondering if James Dolan ever thought like of moving because he could make so much more money. If the Golden State Warriors are killing it like this with a new stadium, utilizing more space
Yeah.
and tech, can you imagine James Dolan? Like they're
And I
missing out
don't
on
think
money right now.
I don't even think he would care about like Madison image because like Warriors historically has always been Oracle, but like nobody cares now that it's a Chase Arena. It's like all
Hmm.
right, whatever. It's a new arena. They want a banner.
Yeah, it looks like the best time to do that is when you're winning
Yeah,
because the fans won't even care.
100% no, dude. People are willing to like Oakland's not that far from San Francisco. People are like, all right, you know what? The Warriors playoff game. Let's go have some fun. Let's go spend the weekend. Let me call off from work and I want this memory to live on forever.
Facts.
Yeah.